Right smack dab in the middle of the week, right smack dab in the middle of the month. That doesn't happen too often. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 15th day of March, 2023. You already know it's Wednesday. I'm Dan Kuntz. We're back on the air. It was close. But we made it for this another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are live. Of course, it's a live show between 7 and 8, so sometimes things get a little cattywampus, but we made it. Good to see you. 32 degrees, clear skies, bountiful sunshine today, still a little cool. We hit 47 yesterday officially up there at Pangborn. That's where they keep track of these things. So 21 of the last 22 days now. We've had our afternoon high temperature not get to where it was supposed to be. And we're going to be close to normal. 52 is our normal high. We'll be nibbing at it. We're not going to get there. But sunshine today, tomorrow, most of Friday. Late Friday afternoon, the high clouds roll in. And then a short wave trough will break into the region Friday into the weekend. Going to cloud us up, maybe give us a raindrop or two by the end of the weekend. Forecast details are coming up. There's a lot of news to touch on. Very busy day in the newsroom yesterday. Also sports, Cougars losing to Eastern Washington in the first round of the NIT at home. It was a sparse crowd because they're on spring break at Wazoo, so the students weren't there. Maybe they needed them. But the Eastern outplayed Washington State. It's as simple as that. We'll have highlights of that and other sports-related activities, including prep results and the schedule. And speaking of sports, in the back half of the program, we're talking Wild hockey, as we usually do on Wednesdays. The Wenatchee Wild have just 4 regular season games left. They're all at home. They got Merritt, the Centennials, on Friday, and then Cranbrook at the Town Toyota Center on Saturday. Chris Clarkey, head coach of the Wenatchee Wild, will join me, as will Austin Trotty, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. 2 minutes after the hour, we begin our tour as the sun is starting to get the job done. The Wenatchee Heights camera, of course, always begins our festivities. And there we go. It looks like there's very little snow left up on Birch Mountain. And you can see a little patch of snow up there on the heights. And we'll have more snow melt as the day progresses. With, again, lots of sunshine for the next basically 2.5 days. By the way, it is going to be a little breezy today, though. The gradients are going to tighten a little bit. Again, those details are coming up. So you'll notice a little breezy conditions, especially later on this afternoon. Camera 2, Uriah, by the way, is back in the pilot's chair, flying the airplane. We appreciate that. He's back from his vacation. As we go to the Rock Island camera, good morning to Rock Island. You can see almost the entire town of Rock Island from that view. The mighty Columbia, Malaga across the way. This Microsoft project that's going to be going in on the outskirts of Malaga, this is a big deal for us. Looks like that's a good done deal. And it looks like Mission Ridge still has lots of snow. Of course, they extended the skiing season this year, Mission Ridge, because they can. Camera number 3. Ooh, that's cool. That's got to be the #1 canyon camera. Trying to catch the sun. Sunrise officially this morning, 7:14, just about 10 minutes from now. Sunset tonight, 7:06, 11 hours and 52 minutes of daylight. And it was still kind of bright out. It wasn't daylight when I went to bed last night, but that's what we're getting to now. I'll be going to bed with daylight coming up probably in about a week or so. It'll still be light out when I hit the hay. And camera 4. Ooh. I don't know, the monitor camera? I'm guessing here. I don't know what we're looking at. That's the monitor camera. Look at all the orchards just sitting there, ready to go. Of course, the cherries had a really bad year last year. We had the snow and the coldest and wettest April ever measured in north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley. The cherries had a bad year last year. Hopefully that won't be the case. 4 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Not a lot to talk about forecast-wise today. Sunny, about 49. It is going to be breezy. A northwest wind about 6 to 16 miles an hour. The occasional gust of about 20 is a possibility. Just a weak short wave coming in, but it's not going to bring us any clouds, just lots of sunshine. Clear tonight, 29 for the overnight low. Near normal, 50 on Thursday with calm winds. It's going to be one of the nicest days we've had so far. Again, we've had a colder than normal temperatures. 51 on Friday, late Friday afternoon, right around 5:30 or so. You'll start noticing the clouds begin to roll in. They're going to be high clouds as they're going to be approaching from the west. So, with a chance, by the way, some light snow in the Cascades. I need to mention that on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be good. We're looking good. That Saturday, it says 37. It's actually going to be lower 50s. Don't know how that happened. Partly cloudy and about 51 on Saturday. Don't ignore the 37. And then about 53, finally normal on Sunday. Yesterday at this time, it looked like we were going to have a few more clouds over the weekend. Now they say a few sun breaks, and we'd like that. And then another system rolls in on Tuesday. Yeah, the high Saturday, that is a misprint. These things happen. Again, it's live TV. You work without a net. It's 5 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break, and then we'll have your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
All paws on deck with Ryder and the crew as they set sail in an all-new live stage show. Paw Patrol Live, The Great Pirate Adventure. X marks the spot in this exciting, action-packed live show full of singing, dancing, and patrolling the high seas. For more information on how to join the heroic pups, you can go to pawpatrollive.com.
Playing Town Toyota Center March 21st and 22nd. For tickets, visit pawpatrollive.com.
It's the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 16th through the 26th, with tons of vendors, a scavenger hunt for the kids, and enter to win a new RV. Top manufacturers are coming from across the country, like Winnebago, Holiday Rambler, Forest River, Thor, Flagstaff, Land Design RV, and more. Check out the enormous selection of both new and used RVs, motorhomes, travel trailers, fifth wheels, with huge incentives and lifetime warranty. The financing options are amazing. So come on down to the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds in Moses Lake, March 16th through the 26th.
At Prestige Senior Living, we celebrate life at every age. From our cognitive and fall reduction programs to our focus on life enrichment and wellness, we help our residents maintain independence while nurturing mind, body, and spirit. Residents also enjoy a wide variety of amenities and services, including restaurant-quality dining, housekeeping, a full calendar of events, and so much more. To learn more or to schedule a tour, visit us at prestigecare.com or call the number on your screen. We can't wait to show you around.
Still right at the freezing mark, 32 degrees at 8 minutes after the hour. Close to our normal high, 50, but lots of sunshine for the next, well, right through the rest of the work week. We have a few clouds, but it's not going to be too bad and probably dry for the weekend. Let's begin with this story. Chelan County prosecutors have filed 18 felony charges, and they're now seeking to add 19 more felony charges in the case of a Leavenworth man accused of possessing child pornography. But in a court hearing on Monday, his attorney said the alleged sexual material may not qualify as child porn under the law. 53-year-old Michael J. Ross was arrested by Chelan County Sheriff's deputies last month on suspicion of possessing and uploading illicit images of children. On Monday, he pled not guilty to all counts. His attorney, Robert Schiffner, told Judge Travis Brandt that the material seized by the police appears to be computer-generated and therefore protected under the Constitution under a Supreme Court ruling 20 years ago.
Child pornography that is created by a computer and is not an image of a real child is in fact protected free speech. You may be repulsed by that, you may be disgusted by that. I personally am. And when I came across this case, I couldn't believe it. I spent 2 more hours just looking for the case that overturned it, and nothing overturns it. It is rock solid, bedrock law that if someone using a computer creates an image that is offensive to 99.9% of the population, it's still protected free speech.
The leader of a Messianic Jewish church who's been charged with domestic violence has won dismissal on some of the charges against him. 48-year-old Isaac David Heckman of Dryden. He appeared in Chelan County Superior Court on Monday. He was arrested in 2021 on 3 counts of assault, accusing him of beating and choking his former partner. Prosecutors later added charges of witness tampering, cyberstalking, and disclosing intimate images, claiming that Heckman had created a website to target his alleged victim. But his attorneys argued that there was insufficient evidence connecting Heckman to the website, and prosecutors agreed last month to drop those counts. Heckman leads the Assembly of Called Out Believers Church here in Wenatchee. He still faces trial on the original domestic violence charges on May 26th. A bill that would have lowered Washington's threshold for drunk driving has died without a vote. Senate Bill 5002 survived 2 committee votes, but it then expired last week since it wasn't brought to the full Senate chamber before its constitutional deadline. The bill would have established the state's blood alcohol percentage for intoxication at 0.05 rather than the current 0.08 standard. Only Utah has a DUI law setting a 0.05 as the limit. Supporters said the measure would have improved highway safety in our state, but its detractors said it would have placed an undue burden on bars, taverns, and restaurants to monitor the drinking of their patrons. Foothill Middle School hosted the state robotics competition over the weekend. Good for them. The Washington State VEX IQ Middle School Regional Championships brought 40 middle school teams from around the state to Wenatchee on Saturday. Foothills not only hosted, but also had a team in the competition. Team 98000C Luminosity battled for one of 16 qualifying spots to the VEX Robotics World Championships, but they did not get a chance to qualify to Worlds. In January, the team Quadruple qualified for state after winning the Excellence Award at Mount Stewart's 5th annual competition down in Ellensburg. Members appointed to the Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission oftentimes go before the Washington State Senate to defend their positions. In 2 recent hearings, Douglas County rancher and Commission Vice Chair Molly Linville and Wenatchee wildlife biologist John Lemcole were among those in the hot seat. They took questions from senators, including the 7th District's Shelley Short, about the science that guides their decision behind hunting and fishing.
It seems at times that the work of the department seems a little dismissed by commission members, and maybe you can just help me understand from your perspective on the commission, any of the challenges that you see or work that maybe the department needs to do differently, because it always seems like their science information is dismissed.
From my perspective, the science is sound and good. I don't worry about that. What I worry about with the department is, and I say this publicly all the time, and I say it to them all the time, is I really think that the department needs to learn how to work with local groups like the conservation districts more closely. We're heading that direction. This state is such a patchwork of private and public lands. If we aren't on the same page, if we don't work together, if we don't set aside our differences, it's great if a state land is protected, but if the adjacent private lands are being managed for some totally different use, sort of did we just throw good money after bad?
We need what I think is a science policy. We don't have a science policy. We have 24 policies in the commission, and I think 20 of them have to do with fish. We have a policy on fish in Willapa Bay and Grace Harbor and the Columbia River and Puget Sound. We don't have a policy as fundamental as about science. So we are introducing, I've worked with some of the staff, and we're introducing a draft of a science policy on Thursday at the Big Tent Committee. So I hope will solve some of these problems, these issues about whose science is better. And it provides, to me, basically quality control, quality assurance, quality control policy. We have standards. This is how we're going to use science. This is what's expected of commissioners. This is what's expected of the staff. And I hope that will solve some of these problems.
And finally, the 17th annual fly fishing tour makes a stop at the Numerica Performing Arts Center tomorrow. This is a pretty good film. It's called The FT3. It's presented by Costa, Yeti, and Sims. This year's show will feature locations from Cuba to Patagonia, Mexico to Australia, Alaska, Wyoming, the Deep South, Massachusetts, and beyond. There'll be a silent auction and raffles to help support Cascade Fisheries. That's a nonprofit based right here in Wenatchee. They work to restore and protect fish-bearing watersheds in our area. Tickets to see the film, $15 a pop. It airs 6:30 tomorrow night, and here's a preview.
Your blokes ought to be pretty skillful with those little skinny rods, wouldn't you?
It's called lucky.
Pretty spectacular cinematography. That's what's making news. At 16 minutes after the hour, the whole crew is back together again. But then again, they didn't go anywhere. We'll have the news for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10 with Grant Olson in the anchor chair. And with a preview, here's the man himself.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, a dry, warmer weather pattern will be in place the rest of this week and into the weekend with temperatures right around 50. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom will let us know what's happening in spring high school sports, as well as a look at last night's NIT basketball matchup between Washington State and Eastern. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Got a news tip? You know what to do. Chime in and say hi. We get emails all the time. News at ncwlife.com is our email address. Our website, ncwlife.com. You have a contact us icon there. You go to our Facebook page. Drop us a note using the Messenger app. When we come back, it was the Battle of Eastern Washington, round 1 of the NIT, and Eastern Washington got the upper hand. Highlights with sports in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
Nineteen minutes after the hour, Steel Venters was the hero for Eastern Washington. He led the way as the Eagles knock off the Cougars. Round 1 of the NIT tournament in Pullman. The final was 81-74. The former walk-on from Ellensburg drained a huge three-pointer in the closing moments, finished with 27 points. The Eagles knocked the Cougars out of the NIT.
TJ Mamba's having to go over the top of some bigger defenders makes a difference.
Ellis Magnuson, number 55, into the game for Eastern Washington as Steel Venters and one from distance.
Look at the concentration level. You go up, you size up your shot, and then you take the contact chance for David Riley.
Inside, nice feed, Price, and one.
I like that David Riley's trying different things. You're trying to get this team off the rhythm inside. You know, you're not scoring it. They're playing some pretty good defense, Washington State, from the perimeter. So what do? Go back to what you do. Go inside.
Tie ball game here in Pullman. Allegri, hesitation, kick out, near corner. Venters, nerves of steel with 16 seconds to go.
Here it is. Here's the drive, the penetration, the collapse defensively, but you don't want to leave that man.
DJ Rodman led the Cougars. He had 23 points. The Cougars were without Muhammad Gay. He had a hamstring injury. He's a big presence inside, and Coach Kyle Smith said, yeah, we missed him.
That was a really intense postseason game. Hats off to Eastern. I thought they played really well. Venters made all the plays late, and I thought we gave a good effort. Obviously, we didn't know till today that we weren't going to have Mo, but I'm proud of our guys. They adjusted well. We just probably didn't have enough depth. Without him, he's a big change, but no excuse. They outplayed us. They played well. They played really hard, and they're a good team. They're really good. I can see where they won. They're a much different team than we played early in the year, and I thought they'd get better, and they did. And I know they finished their regular season and postseason not the way they wanted for sure, and they came down with a determination and a grit, and we had our opportunities to win, but didn't come through. And like I said, you got to make plays to win, and they did, and that's what you need to do to advance this time of year.
Eastern awaits the winner of Oklahoma State and Youngstown State to see who they'll play in the second round. That'll be on either Friday or Saturday. We have a couple of national champions in cross-country skiing from our area. Wenatchee's Quentin Cook took the U.S. Junior National Championships in sprint freestyle yesterday in Fairbanks, Alaska. That's in the U16 category. Cook finished just ahead of Leavenworth's Silas DeAutre, who took 5th when Winthrop's Ben Kaufman took 10th. Derek Richardson, who's from Leavenworth but now attends the University of Alaska Fairbanks, took the national championship in the U20 category yesterday. The U.S. Cross Country Ski Junior Nationals will conclude tomorrow with a mass start in 5K, 10K, and 15K. Turning to the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from yesterday, not a lot of action. Okanagan shut out Kashmir on the pitch. In the Battle of the Bulldogs, 3-0, Moses Lake blanked Ephrata, and we don't know who won the Wenatchee and Quincy score. It wasn't reported. One game on the pitch today, by the way. Chelan is scheduled to host Liberty Bell in boys soccer at 4 o'clock. Fast pitch softball yesterday. Quincy topped Tenasket, and Brewster beat Cascade 15-0. Today's softball schedule, Okanagan's at Omak at 4. Kashmir set to host Liberty Bell at 4:30. Today's games between Tenasket and Cascade and Peshastin has been postponed. There's snow on their softball field. Moses Lake defended its home field in prep baseball yesterday. They beat Pasco 12-0. Warden edged Okanagan in an offensive battle 13-12. There are 2 games on tap today at 4:30 in boys baseball. Liberty Bell at Kashmir and Wenatchee is out Othello. And finally, the Mariners scored 2 runs each in the 7th and the 8th inning. They held on for an 8-6 win over Kansas City. In Cactus League baseball yesterday, Jared Kelnick came through with an RBI double, and Jacob Nottingham had a rare inside the park home run.
Here's Jared Kelnick with a swing and a line drive down the right field line into the corner. The throw in is cut off. Relay to the plate. DeLoach slides. He scores. 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th.
1-2 to Nottingham. Infield straight up pitch. Swung on, sent to center field. Slicing drive. Long run by the center fielder on the track at the 4:10 mark. Dives and crashes into the fence. The umpire said he didn't hold on. And motoring for third, lumbering to third is Nottingham. Manning waving him on. Here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe! Jacob Nottingham has circled the bases, and the Mariners have a 6-2 lead.
I got tired just watching it. The Mariners are in Mesa today. They'll take on the Athletics in games that don't count at 1:05. And finally, the Wenatchee Bighorns are back home tonight in TBL play. They will call Eastmont High School home tonight. They'll entertain the San Diego Sharks. After winning their opener against Vancouver, the Bighorns are on a 3-game losing streak. The Sharks come into tonight's game 1-1. They'll tip it off at 7:05 tonight, and those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, March 15th. It is the Ides of March. We'll get to that in just a little bit. The other obscure holiday I could have chosen is Everything You Know Is Wrong Day. But no, we're going to shoe the world today. Today is National Shoe the World because there are millions of people on this planet who don't have any shoes at all. They go barefoot. I have some interesting facts about shoes. The first people to wear heels, we associate heels, high heels anyway, with women. It was actually men back in the 10th century because they figured out if they put heels on their shoes, it keeps their feet in the stirrups of the horses. Makes sense to me. In ancient Greece, dramatic actors wore platform shoes, so they would always be higher than comedic actors because they thought they were better than comedic actors. So they made themselves physically taller by wearing platform shoes. Sneakers were first invented in 1892. They got the name sneakers because you can't hear them. The soles make no sound. It's estimated that the average American woman owns 19 pairs of shoes. National Shoe the World Day today on March 16th. It's 25 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Jerry Caesar went to the office. On March 15th, 44 BC, 2,067 years ago. Julius probably shouldn't have. The rumors were out, the word was out. Mark Antony tried to warn him, hey, members of your Roman Senate got some problems with you, and they can't get rid of you because you're the dictator of the Roman Republic, so they're going to kill you. And on this date, they stabbed him to death right on the floor of the Senate. Beware the Ides of March. Hey, Julius, don't go to the office today. Call in sick and let's go fishing. Julius Caesar met his maker on this date in 44 BC. Happy birthday to Maine. We always do the states. Maine is 203 years old. Today it was admitted to the Union as the 23rd state on this date in 1820. Vacation land is what they call themselves. The state of Maine song is the state of Maine song. Not a lot of there. That's the state flag of Maine. Like a lot of states, they just take the state seal and they throw it up on a flag and call it good. You can do better than that. Maine, of course, is the only state that borders just one other state. That's it. 124 million pounds of lobsters are caught off the coast of Maine every year. That's 90% of the lobster supply in the U.S. Keep up the good work, Maine. The official state animal in Maine is the moose. There are about 76,000 moose who live in the state of Maine. That is by far more than any other of the lower 48 states. Alaska has 9 times more moose than that, but there's a lot of moose in Maine. If you're in Maine, you'll notice there are no billboards. Billboards are banned in the state of Maine. And one more interesting fact, Maine produces 99% of the blueberries in this country. Apparently, it's a good place to grow blueberries. Happy birthday, Maine. Never been there, plan on going there. Happy 51st birthday to The Godfather. The Godfather debuted at Lowe State Theater in Midtown Manhattan on this date in 1972, 51 years ago today. Last I checked, it was ranked as the second greatest film in American cinema as rated by the American Film Institute. They still rank Citizen Kane number 1. On the 50th anniversary, they did a limited theatrical tour, and my good buddy Tucker Wagner and I went to go see The Godfather. He'd never seen it before. I'd seen it 100 times, but never in a theater, so we went to see it at the Gateway Theater, The Godfather in a theater, and as soon as the movie was over and they turned down the house lights, Tucker looked at me and said, "Well, that was a long movie." That was his reaction. The Godfather is 51 years old today. And this is the 38th anniversary of the very first internet domain name that was registered, Symbolics.com. The very first internet name registered, Symbolics.com, on this date in 1985. On May 7th, 1996, Symbolics declared bankruptcy and closed its doors. We know listen. 29 minutes after the hour, birthdays. We always do presidents. The 7th president of the United States, Andrew Jackson, born in the state in 1767, died in 1845 at the age of 78. Volunteered in the Revolutionary War at the age of 14. He was into cockfighting, gambling. He was a lawyer, a prosecutor, a member of the House, a member of the Senate, a Superior Court judge. He made a lot of money in the slave trade. He made his fortune in slaves, horse racing, and land speculation, became a national hero during the War of 1812. He is the only president who was a first-generation American. All of his forebears were foreign-born. There are those who say he wasn't even born in America, that he was actually born on a ship at sea on his way to America. Both North and South Carolina claim the birthplace of Andrew Jackson. Most modern authorities say he was actually born in South Carolina. Andrew Jackson, born in the state in 1767. Sly Stone, Sylvester Stewart. The great music of Sly Stone can never be overappreciated. The guy was a genius, and the music is good. He's had a rough go of it, but we love him anyway. Sly Stone is 80 years old today. There's a lot of people who thought he'd never make it to 80. Happy birthday to Sly. We love you. And Ry Cooder, one of my favorites, a phenomenal guitarist. If it has a string and you wear it around your neck, Ry Cooder can play it probably as good, if not better than anybody. The great Ry Cooder, whose CD Paradise and Lunch is on my desk today, is 76 years old. Going to take a break. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. It's about getting old, because Mike's getting old. And then we're talking Wenatchee Wild hockey with head coach Chris Clark and Austin Drade, the voice of the Wild. That's up next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Get even more cash back to boost your insulation, keeping your home comfy year-round. Now until March 31st.
Is your recliner as comfortable as this? Does it have lumbar support? The new technology in power recliners is simply amazing.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yes, I was just telling my friends.
Oh, about the great selection of recliners we have here at Boswell's? It's true. We have everything from pushback recliners to power recliners with all the latest features.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, as I get older, I've noticed something. My body might be pushing 70, but I still feel emotionally like an 18-year-old. And according to my dear wife, my maturity level really is closer to the latter than it is to the former. And I like to say, you're only young once, but you can be immature forever. But I have to admit, so far it's been an interesting 68 trips around the sun, and I have some pretty good memories to look back on. But you know what they say, if you remember the 60s, you weren't really there. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
1989, I moved here in July. My dad farmed, my brother's still on the family farm. I worked for a dealer in Lewiston, Idaho. I was his general sales manager. My boss goes, I got a guy that may be ready for a store. We made one trip here, and that's how I ended up here. I'd never been here in my life, and I had no friends here. I have nothing, you know. I do now. I have a lot of friends here. I mean, this is my home. I love living here.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. They have what it takes to make boating fun and hassle-free for the season. Speaking of hassle-free, now's the time to get your boat ready for summer. Remember that starter that wouldn't start or trailer lights that didn't work? Don't be left on shore. Call Bob File's service department today and get ready for summer fun.
Welcome back to the program. Just 4 regular season games left for the Wenatchee Wild. They're all at the Town Toyota Center. 3 of the 4 teams are the teams that we are chasing as we try to work our way up through the standings and get ourselves home ice advantage as the playoffs begin. Welcome to the program, our good buddy, the head coach of the Wenatchee Wild. It's Clark. It's Chris Clark, everybody. Studio audience loves you.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in a while. I know it's you know, we've had Austin Droughty in, the broadcasting voice of the Wild, and David Rayfield and Gretchen, but did I tick you off? Did I not shower?
No, you know what? It's just been a busy time of year. I was obviously busy for you, busy for us, and I apologize. And I told you that you always make me call ahead, and I had lost my cell phone there for a month. So we'll go with that as the reason that I haven't been here, because I haven't been able to call ahead. So
1-1 on the weekend, 13-0 over Merritt on Friday, and then we dropped a tough one on Saturday. We'll talk about that in just a second. But before we get into that, 9 wins in 11 games. We're playing good hockey when we need to be playing good hockey. Are you happy where we're at? Or, I mean, you always want to be better, but are you happy with where we're at right now going into these last 4 games?
Oh, absolutely. I think as a group we've made huge strides. That it's cliche, but you really do want to be playing your best hockey come playoffs. And gradually, week by week, we've been getting better and better and better, and you can see, obviously, those wins are starting to stack up, which is always a good thing, and we do have a lot of work still ahead of us the next 4 games, and we want to continue to get better, but yeah, I'm definitely happy with the progress this group has made, and they deserve it. They've been putting in really good weeks of practice, week in, week out, really since beginning of November, and it's great to see them rewarded with the wins because of it.
Let's show highlights of the 13-0 shellacking against the Centennials on Friday night up in Merritt. Granted, Merritt is not a very good team. We need to be honest. They're last in the league, and they haven't really been too competitive in the last couple of years, but 13 goals? Clarky, talk about that.
Yeah, you know what? I can tell you I've been able to be fortunate to do this for a long time. I have not seen a game like that, but you know what? They do obviously happen from time to time. I think the thing that I was most proud of, aside from obviously the scoring, was that we played a complete game. You know, in a game like that, it's real easy to pick up bad habits or have selfish tendencies where guys think that they can just go out and do a bunch of stuff we normally wouldn't do, and they really didn't do that. We stuck to the game plan. I think it was, somebody said 12 guys had multiple points, so we got contributions from everybody. I know Lucas Marshall got his first BCHL goal, so that was the part that I was most proud of. Obviously, score side, that we stuck with it for 60 minutes. We didn't do a bunch of things we normally wouldn't do. We didn't start creating a bunch of bad habits. We just played the game the right way, and fortunately for us, the puck obviously went our way a whole bunch that night.
Halfway through the second period, as you see there, it's already 6-0. The game is essentially in a hand. Does that change the way you do like line shifts and stuff, or do you keep them on schedule in that regards? When you're winning a blowout, how do you handle that from shift changes and things like that?
It makes it a lot easier just to play everybody and roll 4 lines. Obviously, that's always the goal, is to play all 4 lines, but there are guys that play a little bit more than others at times, but when you get into a game like this, it gives you a great opportunity to give some of those younger kids, especially that don't play maybe the minutes that the Littlers and the Samosas and the Haydukes play or Gasparinis play. It gives those kids a little extra ice time, and they really took advantage of on that night, and they have really all year. When they've been given more ice time or earned more ice time, they've taken advantage of it. Here you see Stefanik, that's a player for sure that took advantage of some extra ice time on Friday night and was rewarded.
What do you tell a team, between the second and third period when you're up that good? Just don't get hurt, and we got a big game tomorrow night.
Respect the game, respect your opponent. They are kids, they're competitive. The other team is competitive. The other team wants scholarships too. But in a game like this, generally there's going to be frustration that sets in, and that's not a time where you need to get the last line or the last punch or just play the game the right way. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Was I was very proud of the group that we didn't get into a bunch of stuff after the whistle. We didn't take a bunch of unnecessary penalties. We played the right way. We played a 60-minute effort.
And that, in a way, really leads to Friday night with Merritt coming into town. This is a team that's not going to go to the playoffs. And this could be one ticked-off Centennial team. And so you might have a little for the guys to remember, hey, we just kicked these guys' butts 13-0, so let's not be stupid here.
Yeah, there's an old sports analogy that don't worry about the team that just won 13-0. Worry about the team that got beat 13-0. They're going to come in here with a purpose on Friday, no doubt. And again, like I just said, they've got 23 kids on their team that want college scholarships too. So whether they're in the playoffs or out, they have 4 more opportunities to impress scouts. This time of year with college hockey, starting to dwindle down in teams and teams being eliminated, you get a lot of colleges out. They're going to come in with their best effort. We need to be prepared. Obviously, we can learn from a lot of good things we did on Friday in Merritt, but we have to start fresh and understand it's 0-0 when the puck drops at 7 o'clock on Friday, and we need to give our best effort to have a chance to win again.
So 13-0 at Merritt Friday, and then it was off to Salmon Arm, British Columbia, and tough. As we show highlights of what happened. Break it down for us, Clarky. That was a tough one to take.
Yeah, you know what? Again, I thought we got off to a great start. We get up 1-0 on the road. Nice goal by Sid here on the rush to get us up 1-0, and then we score early in the second. Lucas Marshall got his first on Friday, his second on Saturday, so good for Lucas. You get up 2-0 on the road. That's the time we got to do a good job, like we did on Friday, of clamping things down and not giving a team life. And I thought we got I know we got a little undisciplined. I think we took 5 or 6 penalties in the second period when we were up 2-0. And that's just something we got to learn from.
Well, that's not Wild hockey.
That.
Wild has always been known for clean hockey, one of the least penalized teams in the league.
Yeah, and again, it started with 1, and 1 led to 2, and before you know it, they were at 5. And Salmon Armor's a team that's got a very good power play that we did. We let them back in the hockey game, unfortunately, and then you get 2-2 going into the third. We get our chance on the power play. Don't score, they get their chance here, as you're going to see on a line rush on their power play. And that was the difference. But I know that it was a pretty quiet bus ride home on Saturday, which tells me that the guys care. They understand that we let one slip away there. Some great lessons to learn and something to take with us here the next 4 games, that when you got a team down and out, you got to finish them off. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do that against Salmon Arm on Saturday.
Which really sets up yes, it's crucial. There's only 4 games left, but who's kidding who? And this is a remarkable statistic, Clarkie. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 5 teams, there's only 5 points separating us. We're currently in 7th. Yeah. There's only 5 points to separate us from 3rd place. You're all bunched together here. This is it. This is your chance right here.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I've never seen anything like this since I've been coaching, whether it be when we were in the North American League or now that we're in the BCHL. I've never seen a division this tight where every single game matters, and you're getting right down to the wire, and all 4 games are gonna matter. Our group had a goal coming back from Christmas that we wanted to try to secure home ice. That's still an option here. We have 4 games left. Luckily for us, all 4 are at home, where we have had a ton of success this year. And we've been having the Wild faithful come out and be loud and proud, which has definitely been giving us that home ice advantage. And we're going to need to take advantage of it here the next 2 weeks against, again, some very good hockey teams.
So we got Merritt on Friday at the Town Toyota Center. Cranbrook is currently in 2nd place. That would be a huge victory. And then we close it out with Trail. The Smoke Eaters in town on the 24th and 25th. Trail is currently in 8th, 1 place behind us. 3-1. Are you happy with that, Clarkie? And hope the teams above you beat each other up? Is that what we're looking at?
I don't ever look that far in advance. I know you want me to. I'm going to tell you I want to go 1-0 on Friday, and then worry about Saturday. Again, we know Merritt's going to come in here. They're going to be ready to go. They're competitive athletes. They know that what happened last time we played. Once we get through Merritt, we'll worry about Cranbrook, another very good team, a team that we've played a lot of tight contests with, that we've had some success with this year. And then we know the following weekend with Trail that they're going to be doing the same thing we are. That even though they're pretty much locked into 8th place, they're going to be fine-tuning, making sure that they're playing their best hockey, getting ready for playoffs as well. So I'm not going to give my predictions here or what we're hoping for. I'm hoping to go 1-0 on Friday, and then take care of Saturday on Saturday, and then we'll worry about next week. Definitely next week.
How are we doing bumps and bruises wise? We're 60 games into the season if you talk the showcase and everything else. How's the health?
You know what? We're getting healthy at the right time. We still have a few bumps and bruises here. But knock on wood, hopefully we'll have everybody or close to everybody this weekend, and that's another point that's absolutely crucial. Is the health part that sometimes is out of your control, but our guys have been doing a great job taking care of their bodies, coming in for extra treatment. Julia and Pepe and the doctors have been working overtime to get our guys back on the ice or as healthy as possible come the weekend, and couldn't be more thankful for all those people right now.
This is the longest home stretch of the year where we don't have a big break. So we got Friday, Saturday, and then Friday, Saturday, and that's it for the regular season. So talk about what's going to happen between the 19th and the 23rd, that whole week, as you get ready to welcome Trail into town. How do you keep the team focused with that kind of break, and they're still at home? They're not traveling, stuff like that. How do you?
We do a lot of video during the week, whether the defensemen go in, all the D will do video together. The forward lines will get their video in together. We do our special teams video. But at this time of the year, a lot of it is just maintenance, and you're not getting, like I just told the guys the other day, as a coach, you don't wait 50 games to give them some super secret that we could have used the first 50 games. We understand what we need to do as a group right now to be successful, to have success, to play our brand of hockey. And so at this point now, it's just maintaining, getting some good reps in practice. Practices are a lot shorter now, letting the goalies feel the puck in practice. But again, a lot of it is just maintenance, keeping our minds fresh, our bodies fresh, so that on Fridays and Saturdays we have as much energy and as many bodies as possible to give us the best chance to win.
Yeah, if we finished 4 or higher, and we're not going to get higher than And, because Penticton and Cranbrook are pretty much locked that in. Home ice advantage, and maybe the game on March 4th, Guns and Hoses against Chilliwack, is a perfect example of why home ice advantage is so important, because that place was electric that night.
It was, and I mean, you can see the hair on my arm standing up just talking about it, that we have such a home ice advantage when that place is packed and rocking. And you brought up the Chilliwack game, Guns and Hoses. Obviously, lots of festivities that added to that night, but our front office staff has been absolutely killing it, getting people in the building. The Wild Faithful have been showing up really since we got back from Christmas break. And last Saturday against Chilliwack was a special night, one that, again, still gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But when we have that place rocking, it's a home ice advantage that not a lot of teams can match, to be honest with you. And so these next 4 games, we're going to need the fans to come out, be loud, be proud, really give us that home ice advantage, because you can see the other team, the frustration start to build. As we have success on the ice, the building gets rocking. It's a pretty special place to be a part of, or a special place to play, and a real special thing to be a part of. And we're going to need those fans to continue to come out and be loud and rock the TTC.
And it's also really cool to see the visiting teams come to the Town Toyota Center who haven't been here before. The players haven't been here before from other teams, and you'd be at the Interior or the Coastal, and they come to the Town Toyota Center. This is a nice place.
Yeah,
it's a really nice place.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That you kind of, I always look when they come out on the ice for the opening face-off or the opening period, and all of a sudden they're skating with their head down, they're focused, and then they look up and they hear the roar of the crowd, and then they're doing the full 360 panoramic view, and they're like, wow, this is pretty cool. Even people that, Chilliwack is a beautiful building as well, but you could see their fans were like, wow, or their kids were like, wow, this is a lot of fans. And so we're going to need it. We're going to need it the next 4. We're going to need it for playoffs. Starting this Friday, though, we're going to need you to be out there, come out, support the boys like you have been. We can't thank you enough for that.
And of course, Friday is St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to be talking about some of the promotions happening this weekend with Austin Drawdy, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, when we come back. Clark, it's always good to see you. You don't need to phone ahead anytime. Just come by anytime you want.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find out?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
Welcome back to the program. The conversation continues with Wenatchee Wild hockey. You know this guy, Austin Drawdy, who got to call a blowout on Friday night. And then, I don't even want to talk about what happened with Salmon Arm on Saturday night, although it was a tough one. I could hear it in your voice on Saturday night. It was like, boy, did we let that one get away from us, didn't we?
That was a rough one.
Yeah. What's the bus? You ride the bus with the guys.
Yep.
What was that like coming back from Salmon Arm on Saturday night after getting that one slip away?
It was a quiet bus ride home. It was not a happy group on Saturday.
Well, and it should be. I mean, these guys know that they blew it. I don't want to say blow it. That's not the right word. But these guys knew that they blew it.
It was a rough ride home. The guys, they've got a good penalty kill this year. They've been taking care of their business on the penalty kill. Guys are marked. Guys are throwing themselves in front of pucks, blocking shots, and there were a couple of opportunities that Salmon Arm got that were just too good that they knew happened that shouldn't have happened on Saturday night.
Clark, you said they got a little undisciplined, especially with all the penalties, which is not the Wenatchee Wild way of hockey. We're usually close to the bottom of the league in penalty minutes, but we kind of got a little off on our game.
Usually the guys are pretty disciplined. Saturday night, unfortunately, every so often you're going to have an outlier, and Saturday was probably one.
It happens when you play that many games.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to happen.
It's a marathon. It's 6-7 months.
Yeah. But you've called more W's than L's lately, 9 out of 11. What's going on here from your perspective?
Guys are showing their development. We've gotten a lot more development out of the depth players. Third and fourth lines have been outstanding these last few games, and the usual suspects, Ian and Cade and Weiland, have really stepped up and done a great job for us. when your top line is producing and your bottom line is producing, you're usually going to have a few pretty solid games, and the guys have had a lot of solid games of late. We need 4 more from them now before we go into the playoffs.
The Merritt Centennials are in town Friday night. The Merritt just lost 13-0 to the Wild Centennials. Clarkie is under the impression, and I am too, that this might be one ticked-off group of hockey players coming down from Merritt to take us on. And they don't want to be embarrassed like that.
I would imagine they'll be a little motivated coming in, 13-0, especially after having played these guys close every single game before. 13-0 is something they're going to want to come in and prove isn't like them, and they're going to be. I think they're going to be ready to go on Friday night.
Friday night, the promotion is St. Patrick's Night, which means wear plaid, of course, because it's St. Patrick's Day. What? Just show up and wear green, have fun? Is that about it?
It's a theme night for us. Show up, wear green. We'll hopefully we won't need the luck of the Irish for that one against Merritt, but if that's what it takes, we're not going to turn it down. And then, courtesy of Jimmy John's on Saturday night, it's Walt's birthday. Walt will be 15, you told me? 15 years old.
15 years old, courtesy again of Jimmy John's. It's Pucks and Paws. And not only is that a great promotion, 6 o'clock, by the way. Remember, on Saturdays they drop the puck at 6, not 7. Not only is it a great promotion, but this is a big game. This is a really big game on Saturday night.
It's an important one against Cranbrook. Every game is important right now, but Cranbrook, if the hopefully won't be a playoff preview, because that means we're stuck in 7th when the season ends, but a possible playoff preview. Things could go a lot of different ways the last 4 games. And Cranbrook is one of the top teams. They've been one of the hottest teams in the league the last month and a half, couple of months. But the Wild had the season series on them, so this will be an important one on Saturday night. Pucks and Paws night is Saturday night, so we'll welcome in the dogs for the game. You can get your ticket for your dog for just $5, and all the proceeds from that go to the Oaken Dogs Dog Rescue over in Leavenworth and Cashmere.
The usual rules apply. Your dog has to be on a leash. Don't forget about that. And if your dog isn't going to really interact well with other dogs and loud noises and that kind of environment, don't bother, right? It's just not a good idea.
This would not be the right spot for them.
Yeah, but if your dog is well behaved and is looking for a good time, bring them to Saturday night to celebrate Walt's birthday.
It'll be a hard one for me. I want to make it my personal mission to greet every dog that comes through the door, and I can't do it. I don't have time to do it.
Let's, real quick, shop talk. Clarkie mentioned in all of his years in hockey, he's never seen this before. You've called a lot of hockey. Between 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, we're in 7th, and Salmon Arm is in 3rd. Only 5 points separate those 5 teams right in the middle of the pack. Clarkie said this is new to him. This is good, isn't it?
It's fantastic. It's nerve-wracking, but it's fantastic. It means every game matters, every point matters, and there's something to play for every single night, every single shift. There's something to play for these guys. But 5 games or 5 points separating 5 teams, that's to the extreme. That doesn't happen very often.
We're making the playoffs, but this guy wants to spend. He wants to spend as much time in the Wenatchee Valley as possible when we get to the playoffs, and to do that, we need home ice advantage, and that means show up. Clarkie talked about the incredible atmosphere on Guns N' Hoses night against the Chiefs. That was a great night, wasn't it?
It was an electric night in that building, one of the biggest crowds we've ever had, and you could feel the difference even between a game 3,300 earlier in the year, 3,500 we had for Hockey Fights Cancer, and that was our biggest crowd since COVID. But the difference between 3,500 in the building for Hockey Fights Cancer and 4,260. Every ticket we sold for last Saturday night. There is a difference even in those last 700 fans. It was an electric night in that place. You could feel it. I think the players felt it a little too.
You're running out of time, folks. There's just 4 games left, and they're all at home, and they're all against interior division opponents. Let's make that push. Let's get that home ice advantage and keep Austin as close to the Wenatchee Valley as possible. Have a good weekend, my friend. And we get to see you next week, right?
We get to see you next week.
For the last 2 home games of the year. All of them victories. As Joe Namath would say, all of them victories. I'm not guaranteeing squat. I don't play hockey. Austin, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
We were in Roseburg in the early 80s. Our oldest son, Dan, was a defensive back, a starter on that team. They in fact, became Oregon State champions, setting the first undefeated 14-0 season in Oregon's history. And a lot of people were losing jobs. Friends had left the community. It was a hard time. That football team and companies like Abby's kept that place alive and the community spirit alive. That's legendary.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
You even remember to water the house plants. I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions, and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Before we wrap up the program with one more look at the weather forecast, quick reminder, it is Wednesday. That means it's Winning Wednesday, but if you've been paying any attention at all, you know we're doing things a little bit different over the last couple of days. We're giving away tickets, family 4-packs, to Paw Patrol Live, the great pirate adventure. It's a kid show coming to the Town Toyota Center next week, March 21st and 22nd. But the only way you can win these tickets, it's a $106 value. These 4 tickets, this family 4-pack, they're good seats. $106 value, but the only way you can win them is go down to the original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee, the original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee during business hours, and get signed up. You'll see the big glass jar there. Get your name in there, sign up. We're going to be doing the drawing, by the way, a little bit later on today in the early afternoon hours. So get down there if you haven't done it yet, and we'll do the drawing, and I'll unveil the winners for that tomorrow on this program. Real quick, your forecast from the National Weather Service. Bountiful sunshine, close to our normal high, just a couple of degrees below where we should be. We'll take it. 49 degrees. It is going to be a little windy today at times. 50, the high on Thursday. The good news continues right through Friday. We'll start seeing some high clouds seep into the valley late Friday afternoon into Friday night with filtered sunshine for the weekend. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.